Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to episode number 7 of season 1 of Real-Time Design with Toby Schnaars. And in this season, what we're doing is we're taking this wireless 10 key and we're trying to retrofit a set of foot pedals to it so we can advance slides in PowerPoint. Now I know that episode was a bit longer where we went through and we designed this 10 key, but I hope you enjoyed it, and please, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. If you like the way this season is going, if you have any suggestions, I'm always open to suggestions. But one thing I noticed when we were drawing this up was that it really wasn't matching up as far as the dimensions go compared to the image that I had, and that it raises a little bit of a concern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a quick 3D print of a mold almost to set this thing down into, and I just am using this as a quick confirmation to make sure that all my measurements, all my dimensions, everything are good. I'm pretty confident that they are, but this will just kind of help me move forward with the project with that much more confidence. Whenever I do something like this, I always have this, what I like to call ugly yellow 3D printer material, where I take anything that I know is going to probably be a throwaway and I just print it out in this ugly yellow. So that's what I'm going to be using for today's print as well. So let's take a look at the software and see how we go about creating a quick, almost like a mold using a 3D printer. Okay, so here we are in the SolidWorks software, and we're going to use this model to create a 3D print. And I think what I'm going to do here, there's a couple of different ways we could do this. We could do it with a cavity feature. We could do it with offset surfaces. A couple of different ways we could do it, but I think I'm just going to do it with a cavity feature, kind of a traditional way. Just kind of examine it, make sure everything looks good. I think it does, so we're going to just jump back into edit part. Now this is a virtual part, so maybe I'll rename this test mold 1. And then I'll give this thing a right mouse button, save part in external file, and just save it in the same directory. And then I'm going to edit that part, and I'm going to use the command insert features cavity, and I'm going to take this component and subtract it from my other component. I'm going to scale this component about its origin, and I'm going to say that I want it to utilize a scale factor here of, say, 1% additional. So we've got a little bit of clearance. If I hide this part here, if I hide this part here, you can see I've captured all the geometry from the original design, but I've given myself just a little bit of clearance around the outside. Okay, so that clears out the overhang that was going on there. The rest of this thing looks pretty good. I think I've got basically what I want. The only other thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to make one more cut extrude, and this is going to be because I'm going to want to put in some fingers on this design to press down on the button 4 and the button 6. So I'm going to just quickly draw in a rectangle here that goes from here over to here. And I'm going to 3D print some kind of mock-up fingers as well. So I'm going to make them 4 millimeters wide. Hey, what's up everybody? So, success. This 3D printing experiment definitely went, I guess you could say as expected. I mean, we drew it up in SolidWorks and it, it gave us the expected results, but it's always great. It's always brings a smile to my face when we get the results that we're hoping for. So you can see that these little fingers that we printed out are right above the 4 and the 6 key, which is right where we wanted them. And you can see that this 10 key fits into this little cradle that we made nice and snug, maybe a little too snug, but that's always something you have to kind of factor in when you're doing 3D printing, and in this case it's just a little too snug still. Maybe you need to make it a little bit wider, but as far as the location of these little divots here, they're exactly where the little foot divots are, and the slot shaped divots up top, up in these little wells here, also exactly where the little slot shaped pads are. And this kind of, it's great to manifest your ideas into a 3D print, because I'm already now kind of thinking about a redesign from the original 2D sketch that I created of, I think I'm going to go with kind of like, almost like shifter pedals, like pedals you would have in an automobile, where the pedal is going to come down on the side here and then stick out a little bit. And that's going to allow me to have a much more narrow general footprint. In the original sketch, I was thinking the whole thing would be as wide as the pedals, but there's no reason that the pedals can't be a little more narrow. The pedals could be a little thicker than a pencil here, and for the most part, and then at the very bottom, they could just get wide where you would press down on your foot, and that way the entire mechanism only really needs to be about, maybe 6 inches wide. So exciting, definitely exciting. Glad that it worked. We're gonna get back into SolidWorks in the next video and see where the design takes us. I'll see you then. Bye bye.